Hello, Mass Attacks here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a look at a battle from the Tier 7 Czechoslovakian heavy tank. It is the VZ-44-1. If you're new to my channel and you enjoy what you see, please don't forget to subscribe. So before we get into the action, I'll show you my crew and equipment that I've currently got on this tank. My crew on this tank aren't too bad. My commander's on his 4th skill, the other 4 are onto the 3rd skill. The equipment I'm using in the special survivability slot is vents. Then I've got a turbo, an improved rotation mechanism. On field modifications I have maxed this out so I get a permanent bonus of plus 3% to vehicle hit points, haven't fiddled with any other modifications. So now let's have a look at it in action. Today I'm playing on Live Oaks. It's a standard battle and I've got the 366 matchmaking and I'm top tier today. And since I'm the top tier heavy tank, I am gonna go to the town. This tank, I do like this tank, but it does have a few issues. And if you've noticed with the equipment I'm using, turbo, improved rotation mechanism, mobility is one of the big problems you get with this tank, so I would address that. Another issue you get with this tank, well, with the full line, you get the choice of 2 guns. You can have a single shotter or 2-shot magazine. And on this tank I think you can only have the single shotter, but what happens on the full line is you can't have a gun rammer on any of the tanks, even if you choose the single shotter gun. But you do get better gun handling if you do have the single shotter gun. So I'm nearly into the town and I am feeling quite confident against the enemy heavy tanks. The Tiger 1 does have a good DPM, but I shouldn't have any problems with his armour. And the other 2 are tier 6s, so I shouldn't have any problem. So I push to the far end of the town, so I don't have tanks to the side of us or behind us. There's a squad of T25, good solid shot into him, keeping him in front. Just reversing back while I reload. The reload is quite big on this tank, so pushing in because I'm reloaded, waiting for him. Is he going to push out? Now there's a T52 slightly to my side, so I'm just pulling back a little bit. I don't want tanks at both sides of us. There's the artillery, so I've used my first aid kit and my repair kit to counter that artillery shot that hit us. So just pulling back, I'm getting another shot into the Skoda T25. I have got a light tank pushing in, so we should be able to take him out soon. And there he's taken out. So just pulling back while I reload again. And then I'll probably focus the T52 next. I'll have to have a look up the street, make sure there's no tanks up there that's going to get shot into the side of us, especially KV2. Doesn't look like he's looking. Just pulling back. Just going to push in now for the T52. Pushing in, snapshot into him, pushing. Want to get round the back of the building and I have done so. Just waiting for the reloads. He'll not penetrate the front of my tank unless he's really lucky or firing cold. And there it is, he's been taken out. So I'll tell you a little bit about this tank and I'll tell you about the gun you get on this tank. It is a 105mm gun. It has 206mm of penetration, which isn't too bad, with 320 alpha damage, which is really good. Can I take the Cromwell? There's a Cromwell gun. With my crew and equipment, I've got a reload time of 11.05 seconds, which is a problem. It gives you a DPM of 1737, which is poor. Then my aiming time is 2.28 seconds, which is poor as well, and my dispersion is 0.4. so sniping, you're going to really struggle sniping in this, but it's a heavy tank, you don't really snipe in a heavy tank. You want to keep right at the front, and you can do that because of your armor's quite decent. But anyway, back to the gun. What you do get is 8 degrees of gun depression, which isn't too bad at all. So back to the battle, and we've pretty much steamrolled through the town, won the town. So I want to push up into their base, but there's enemies in front of us. I did bounce a shot off a chaffee, but there is tanks to the side of us, so I don't really want to push yet. And then getting shot from the front and the side isn't a great situation, so I'm just going to stay put at the moment. Do have a Chaffee with us, not sure if he's going to push forward, but it would be nice if he does light them up. So I'm just going to sit here for the time being, be a little cautious. I'm waiting for support from the OI, who's nearly here. Got an E25 to my left, and I'm hoping he's going to spot somebody. So other things on this tank, as I says, the armour is quite decent. On the front of the hull you get 110mm of armour. You'll bounce shots all day at this matchmaking. And then you've got 80mm on the side, 60 on the rear, so decent for side scraping. And then your turret armour, you get 200mm on the front, 80mm on the side, 80mm on the rear. Now this tank with poor gun handling, poor mobility does sound not the greatest, but you will be surprised if you do get one or have one. You'll probably like it. It is a nice tank to play somehow, although on paper it's not the greatest. But with that big alpha damage and decent armour, half decent armour, it is quite fun, this tank, and I do really enjoy it. So back to the battle. I don't want to push straight up towards the enemy cap because there is tanks slightly to me right which will be getting shots into the side of us, so I've decided to push into them, try and clear this area, and then all the rest of the enemy are pushed in the corner, and then I'll push into them. So I'll tell you about the mobility as I push here and take the Super Hellcat out. That's him gone. You do get a top speed going forward, and this is with a turbo. Top speed going forward of 34 kilometers an hour, which is really poor, but your reverse speed isn't that bad. You do get a reverse speed of 16 kilometers an hour. And the only other thing I can tell you about this tank is the view range. And with my crew and equipment I've managed to get it to 410 meters, which isn't really the greatest, but it's not too bad for a heavy and being at tier 7. So we've cleared out this corner, this area down the bank. Now I want to push into the corner. Want to kill another tank so I can get a top gun. So I'm pushing over the field. I do have more than half my hit points, and if I keep my armour pointing forward I should bounce some shots. So I'm focusing the VK36, the tier 6 heavy. He has penetrated, but there's a nice big shot into him. Wheeled vehicle at the side of us. I'm trying to ignore him. There's the artillery spotted. I should have taken the artillery for the top gun. I want to push in for this heavy tank, get behind the buildings, and there I am in his face, bounced his shot, tried to get the artillery but somebody took him out, so I'll take the assistance for that, and got the big shot into the VK36, trying to track him in position. He's trapped me in position, but he's only a one-shotter, and I've managed to take him out. So there it is, me top gun. Now the Chaffee is running away from the city. I'll not be able to chase him. It'll take us forever to get round to that side of the map, so I think I'll just push into the cap. Hopefully the artillery will take him out, but this will be the end of the battle for me. He's not spotted. I'm just going to push to the end of the cap just in case he turns round, heads back towards us, somebody spots him, and then I might be able to take him out, but I very much doubt it. So I'm in the cap, he's in the cap. He's pushing into our artillery. When you're in a situation like this, there's no point chasing the tank round the map. You might as well just cap out, but he's been taken out in anyway. Let's have a quick look at the stats. It was a Master Ace Tanker Award. I got the high caliber for me 3,665 damage, 300 assist off the artillery, and the top gun for me 6 kills. Top of the tree for XP with a base XP of 1400. Top for damage. I made 44,000 credits plus 9,450 XP. That's due to a personal reserve bonus and an award for the first victory each day, which was at ×4. I'd like to thank you for watching today's battle. I hope you enjoyed it and found the information useful. If you did, please don't forget to like and comment. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. There's a little icon in the bottom left hand corner. Cheers.